Ateneo Blue Babel Battalion. We'll be back with more of the hard court action live right here at the Big Dome for the UAAP Season 69.
The votes are in. JC Inbound is the Gillette Factor Plus Breakout Player 2006. Meet the man who stepped up his game to superstar status. Raising his scoring average from last year. He's grown his skill and maturity all season long. With more back-breaking slams and clutch shots, he has helped lead his team to the top of the standings. Congratulations to JC for his breakout performance in UAAP Season 69. Just like him, it's time to step up, look good, play better with Gillette Factor Plus.
Where are you going? Sit down. This is Mentos Life. Mentos, the fresh maker.
When you're in that zone, everything becomes effortless. The game slows down. You basically let your instincts take over. I think it's something that you can definitely train yourself to get into.
81 points! Unbelievable!
They kick, they swim, they flip, they score, they dunk, they glide, faster, higher, stronger. Milo every day, fulfill all the dreams, be part of the winning team. Faster, higher, stronger. Milo every day.
Jesse James and Frank James, Billy Kid, all the rest. Supposed to be some bad cats out there in the West. But when they dug me and my gangster ways, they hung up their guns and made it to the grave. 'Cause I'm a gangster of love. Say
Welcome back to the Araneta Coliseum. The USD Salingawi Dance Troupe. On your screens earlier, full force also the Blue Babel Battalion. At halftime, performing here at the Big Dome. This is game number 1 of the finals for the UAAP 69th season. And guess what? We are back to square one, as they always say when we are tied up at halftime. 35 all for both USD and Ateneo. And I don't know, TJ, what indicators do you see for both teams? Nobody, again, really showing any clear edge in this game.
Well, not yet at least, but you're looking at some good signs for USD, and you're looking at some things that are kind of missing for Ateneo. And we'll break them down as we look at our halftime stats. Certain things that I saw were very important in this game. Well, for one thing, you saw Ateneo take the lead early on, and that's because of the three-point shooting. 4 out of 6 so far in this game for a team that, as you said, has got a miserable percentage for the whole season as compared to USD's 1 out of 5. Field goal percentage is actually, that's 2-point field goals actually, but field goal percentage is 40% for USD, and for Ateneo only 35%. Now that's turning the tables around, because when Ateneo won big, they dominated defensively and only allowed USD a mid-30s percentage, while they themselves were in the high 40s, in fact sometimes sitting in the 50s. Rebounding, Coach Norman Black will not be happy with this stat.
Again.
27-19, dominated not by the Blue Eagles but by the Growling Tigers, and offensively 13-6 That is an awesome edge considering that's only 2 quarters. 7 offensive rebound advantage. It has turned into 10 second chance points for UST. Fast break points, well, doesn't see much of a difference right now. Slight edge for UST, 4-3. And the reason why I feel this is important because this is where Ateneo wants to dominate. And they only have 3 points on the fast break so far.
And it's also because UST, as you have been mentioning all throughout the first half, has come back in transition and have prevented the easy points for Ateneo. But that rebounding edge was huge. And again, that will give Coach Norman Black a headache. All right, let's talk about the players that made it happen for both teams. When Ateneo was struggling in the first half, Chris Chu was the guy who initiated offense. He didn't let the game come to him. He initiated. He shot 3 out of 5, 2 triples to get them going. On the other end, Jojo Duncil 0 out of 6 from the field, but Jervy Cruz is right now saving his back, so to speak. At 5 out of 8 shooting, 10 points, and just a monster again on the boards with 7 rebounds.
Look at those leading scorers at the half. Chu with 9, Intal with 9. Kim Zon is there with 6 points. Where is Escalona? Where is Doug Kramer? Those are your veterans that you expect to step up and really pour in the points, especially to set the tone in the first half. But so far, Escalona only with 4 points, Doug Kramer only with 2 points. They are combined 1 out of 9 from the field. UST, you've got Jervy Cruz carrying most of the cuddles there. As you said, 5 out of 8 for 10 points. Evangelista had a pretty good second quarter there with 6 points, and so did, first quarter, Evangelista, because he sat out with 3 fouls. And then Espiritu came out with those back-to-back hits against JC and Tal, that mini 1-on-1 duel towards the latter part of our first half with 5 points.
All right, TJ, let's go back to your checklist just to make sure that we are updating our televiewers on what's happening for both teams, if it's working, if it's clicking, if it's not working. First, let's talk about Ateneo.
Well, as you see here, there is no check mark on those 2 stats. Dominate the boards, they have not done. Running, they have not done. They're losing on the boards, as we said, 27-19. Fast break points, only 3 points on the fast break for Ateneo. Remember, in the game that they walloped UST by more than 20 points, they had 23 fast break points. 3 points so far today is not going to cut it for Coach Norman. Staying home, putting the clamps on Jervy Cruz, well,
another X.
Not so good so far because they've not really held down Jervy Cruz. He's been scoring at will, 5 out of 8. He's been getting the drop passes. He's been getting those offensive rebounds. Maybe a little bit more of a defensive effort for Jervy Cruz in the second half for Ateneo.
Let's shift our attention to the Growling Tigers, who are here for the first time after 1999. Coach Pido Harencio's first coaching experience. They're in the finals, and they both have check marks.
Well, yeah, we got the stats to prove it. They've found their mismatches. They've got their points off of that. You have Evangelista earlier having some buckets against a slower Doug Kramer. He had to give him space. He had the jumpers. You had Espiritu putting the ball on the floor against JC and Tal, finding the basket, finding a 3-point shot. And they found Jervy Cruz. They've got the drop passes into him. They found him with their post-entry passes. He's got his points. Denying Ateneo's running game, definitely we've been mentioning that. They have been very consistent on their transition defense.
And that is the reason why they are tied at 35. What has been positive, though, for Ateneo? If you're looking at the score, they're still tied.
Yeah, it's a good game so far.
What's going for Ateneo right now?
Guys have stepped up. You're looking at Escalona
individual
with
performances.
Yes, I agree. Escalona has not put up the numbers you expect. Kramer has not. But there's Zion Later with the blocks.
Kim Zon
with the 6 points. And Chris Chu looking for his points.
Jai
Reyes with a good second quarter and a good ending in the first quarter. Those guys have held their own coming off the bench for Coach Norman Black. So considering that they're not playing so well and they're still tied in this ball game, you're looking at a good sign kahit papano for Ateneo. But considering it is a low-scoring game, this is something Coach Pido likes.
That's right.
For UST.
Third quarter is underway. Hello, Philippines. Thank you for watching us live over Studio 23. For those watching the replay on Channel 26 of Sky Cable, thank you for watching us. ABS-CBN Sports live coverage of game number 1 of the finals. Boom Gonzalez, TJ Manotok, Leah Cruz, and Donna Liabres with us here at courtside. And UST commits a foul right away, courtesy of Jude Cortez. And Chris Chu will go to the line for free throws. The first buckets for Ateneo. Alam mo, pag naririnig mo yung mga nandito sa likod natin, which is basically the Ateneo side, the parents and the alumni feel na may gigil itong Ateneo. Mas may gigil compared to UST, who is playing a little more relaxed.
Yeah, they're playing like I was talking to Seb at halftime. They're playing like they're in their backyard. They're just having fun out there. They're on the court and closing everything out. They're not thinking this is so much pressure, that this is
such a big
finals.
game.
Millions of people are watching all over the country and all from different parts of the world. No, that's not on their minds right now. They're just having fun, executing their game plan, and playing very aggressive.
Is Ateneo, though, right now feeling a little bit of that pressure, the pressure of the expectations?
Well, Leah Cruz herself mentioned at the beginning of the ball game in the dugout, they were very tense. They were very nervous. And Coach Raman addressed that fact, although putting it in a positive light, saying you can draw from that and make it a good point for you.
What about Japskuan with that familiar move as he goes to the spin cycle, and now UST in the lead, 37-36. Kuan right now with 7 points across his name.
If you think about it, pounded in for him, averaging 6 points a game.
Escalona in the meantime has continued to struggle and tries to set up JC and Tal, but the defense is there for UST. Let's go to Leah Cruz for the Blue Eagles. Leah?
Thank you, Boom. Now, even though this is game 1 of the finals, the Ateneo dugout at halftime was very calm and composed. Despite the urgency to pull ahead, Coach Norman Black said that this is not the time to be yelling. Instead, we need to stay composed and focused. He also reminded them about their defense and rebounding, citing all the offensive rebounds UST got in the first half, and reminded them to look to run and to work on their assists. Back to you, Boom.
Thank you very much, Leah. And Japskuan again getting in the middle, in the teeth of that defense of Ateneo, and puts it up and in.
It's been a point guard duel so far. Escalona finally hit a nice looking jumper earlier. But take note also in the first half, how many assists did Escalona have? 0. And he is the second
leading.
Second leading player in assists in the whole league at 5 per game.
He shoots a perimeter jumper, something out of the offense of Ateneo in that sequence. Jervy Cruz back to Cortez. Thought about it. Kuan again entering territory. Calas kicks it out. Espiritu against Intal. Again gets away.
What a sweet
and a
move.
three-point play opportunity for Anthony Espiritu, who again caught JC Intal dead on his tracks.
Flat-footed. One ball fake at the 3-point line, which he hit a big 3 earlier. So JC showed the respect, but blew right by him. Sidestep 2 white shirts and got that ball to trickle in. What a smooth move there by the 6'4" guard of UST. And his big brother, his kuya, is watching here today, enjoying what his little bro is doing in the finals for the first time.
It is a 42-38 count with 7:35 remaining here in the third quarter. The good thing that has been working all season long for Ateneo is that they have engaged in many close battles all throughout season 69. There's something to draw from.
And they've come out winners. They know how to win in close games. They know how to win in crunch time. Again, looking at Chris Chu, looking for a shot. That's a very good sign for him.
I think he really feels the urgency. Nakikita niya eh.
He does.
Ito naman, Anthony Espiritu stroking it well from the three-point area. 11 points now for Espiritu.
Look at the face of Espiritu, Boom. He's thinking, he's thinking, how many people are in this crowd? 0. He's thinking, nobody is watching this game. I'm not going deaf with the crowd. He's just enjoying this and loving it.
USD is 4 out of 4 from the line. Make that from the field, including this three-point shot. Brought to you by Sun Cellular. Better network, better value. Let's go to Donald Yabres for the Growling Tigers now.
Coach Pido is still trying to keep his composure while telling to his boys to keep it easy. And while they're trying to keep away from the pressure, Coach Pido told them to just work hard, magtrabaho tayo. He even had a demonstration to show how defense should be done. Boom, the coaches said, nagmamadali ang team, which should not be the case. The Ateneo Blue Eagles are good with fast-paced games. If this continues to happen, well, USC will have a hard time to lead and make it to the win. So far, the coaches are pretty happy with the Tigers' performance. Wala tayong ginagawang mali. We just need to improve a little more. Back to you, Boom.
All positives for Coach Pido Arencio at the half, and why not? They were tied at 35, and now they're in the lead by 3, 45-42. That is Ateneo ball. Japskuan called for the last touch.
If Espiritu hit that turnaround fadeaway on the baseline.
Uwi na.
Oh, gosh. Bring the house down with that awesome Jordan-esque move.
And this is with Jojo Duncil struggling. 0 out of 6
And that's a
from the
good
field.
thing. That's a good thing that Espiritu is stepping up. Stepping up for Duncil's absence offensively.
Chris Chu gets back his own miss. Sets up Kramer. Kramer puts it up and in.
Now that's what you didn't see in the first half. No assists for Escalona. Very few assists for Ateneo. Hence, very few easy buckets for Doug Kramer. He loves those kind of shots. He's always ready. He's got a big target on his chest at the baseline. Hey, drop it off to me. But he hardly saw that.
Excellent point, TJ. Diyan talaga, kumbaga kubita si Doug Kramer. That's where he made his money. Well, what about Mark Canlas? Canlas and Espiritu getting the step on their defensive guards, showing they have the quickness and athleticism to blow by JC Intal today.
And JC Intal defensively has not passed the standards of championship level so far.
And to think he's running for MVP too, that's another consideration. 47-44, back in a moment.
You're on an MVP high at the UAAP Games thanks to Rexona First Day High. Taas kamay with confidence. Basta Rexona.
First day of school, handa na ba kayo? First day high! Nasasabi sa unang araw ng eskwela. Taas kamay with confidence. Rexona First Day High! Umaabang sa talino. Kung mayaman si Papa. Pag mahilig ka sa sports. Kung cool ka na stick. Pag solid sa bain. Itaas ang kamay with confidence. Basta Rexona! From Unilever to!
With the Nokia 6233, the power to connect is truly at your fingertips.
Welcome back to our UAAP coverage of the finals, season 69. And, well, those were the numbers, as we mentioned, against the UE Red Warriors.
Definitely heaven sent for Coach Pidon Rencho and the rest of the USC community. 27 points, 18 rebounds. Awesome performance in the Final Four for the second time in order to see the Ateneo players.
Larry Funacher, what they call the silent assassin. And you got to be happy for them doing so well in the pros.
Right.
And especially for Larry recovering from that ACL injury. Oh, nice takeaway by Japs Kuan. It is 2-on-1. Jojo Duncil, though. And a pass to forward for him for Japs Kuan, but they will reset the table with 15 on the 24. Turnover off a timeout for Ateneo. Espiritu against Zion Later. 6 seconds at the shot clock and the easy rebound for JC Intal. Mackie Escalona now looks ahead, finds Chris Chu. The lead is 3 for USD, 47-44. Halfway point of our third quarter. Escalona from the corner. That's long, very long. USD looking to extend the lead. And an offensive foul called on Japs Kuan on an established Chris Chu.
Good call there. Chu was right in front of him, though maybe not as established with his feet, but the lowering of the shoulder of Japs Kuan is what got the attention of the refs.
Very low scoring as Jai Reyes, an instigator in the first quarter from Coach Norman Black, comes back in for Mackie.
And interestingly, just when Mackie Escalona hit an air ball, that's when Coach Norman Black was, okay, time to bring back a guy who had the energy and the effectivity in the second quarter.
And time for Mackie to relax and refocus and look at the game. JC gets the step, flies, sets up
Nice
Doug Kramer, and Kramer rarely misses from that area. He is shooting 55%. The two-point area.
Ateneo only had 3 or 4 assists in the whole first half. That was a big one right there.
First field goal for Jojo Duncil. And it came in the form of a 3 ball.
That's right. And he's shooting it. He's not stopping. He's not quitting.
Yep. Kramer. And who was the ball supposed to go to? Jojo. Kicking it out. Espiritu. Against Zion Later. A better defender than JC Intal this time. Canlas against Intal. 10 on the 24. Canlas loses it. Zion goes to his left. Sets up Jai Reyes. Duncil did not see him.
It's in on his back turn to Jai Reyes.
Fast break points, TJ.
Yep. A rare one. A rare fast break there for Ateneo.
3:30 remaining. 50-48. USD in the lead. Jai Reyes giving Japs a lot of room to shoot. And you know he won't. Jervy looking for the shot of the basement against Doug Kramer. Jervy Cruz gets inside.
Wow.
He's unstoppable from that distance.
And he knew the help was there. He methodically broke it down. Just waited for that little lane to make the jump step in the lane.
Kramer and Cruz are both 55% shooters from that area. Intal gets into the tail. No foul. No dunk. Duncil all the way gets blocked and fouled on the other end by Zion Later. And Norman Black begging.
For the foul, yeah.
That would have been huge. But again, USD holding the fort, TJ. They're holding the fort.
Check the contact, if there's any contact here. Well, there was some on the arm. There was some on the arm. He did not get the ball.
On the other end, Jervy making mincemeat of that Ateneo defense and holding his own on the other end for the 4-point lead for the Growling Tigers.
Be the Colt 45 Rockista. Winner gets $450,000 cash and a 1-year recording contract. Colt 45 Rockista. Be the Colt 45 Rockista. Winner gets $450,000 cash and a 1-year recording contract. Colt 45 Rockista.
How far can you go with one full tank of Petron Extra Unleaded? In the Petron Extra Mile Challenge, Team Zyko Himanos set a new record of 1,400 kilometers, leaving the old record far behind.
Record ni Pocholo na break na.
With Petron Extra Unleaded, go for the extra miles. It's time you set your own record.
Welcome back to the Araneta Coliseum for your live coverage of game number 1 of the finals for the UAAP. The crowd getting into it, even during the timeouts. As we look at our Jack and Jill fantastic moment, life is fun, especially for USD right now. We're in the lead by 4, 52-48. Nobody expecting them to go all the way, but they're here to challenge, they're here to compete, and they're here to win. As Jojo Duncil will probably get the stroke, his touchback from the free throw line, which is always a good sign for shooters.
That'll help. That'll help to get his confidence up, but he missed this one.
He is 1 out of 8 from the field. 53-48. Jai Reyes, Maki Escalona, Doug Kramer, JC Intal, Zion Later. JC trying to make things happen. JC taking on Espiritu. Kramer from 16, nothing there.
He has to hit that. With the help defense that Evangelista and Cruz are showing towards Intal, Kramer or whoever else is the big man who's going to get that pass will have to hit that 15-foot jumper.
An offensive foul called. Coach Pido not liking that play.
Second time around, Japs got called for that offensive foul.
Second personal. for Japs as we look at this move
Good
by
call.
Japs earlier, yes, for the offensive foul. That's, as you mentioned, his second offensive foul. USD again out rebounding Ateneo here in the third, 7-4. We have been talking about that since the start of this game, even before the first shot was taken, DJ. The rebounding really is going to be the crucial factor here, especially for Ateneo.
That was a good shot for Escalona to hit. That's one confidence booster also for him. 4 points here in the third quarter for Maki.
Under 2 minutes to play here in the third. Dunsil finds area to operate, but Zion Later sends it back to earth. An impact play for Zion. 3-point shot for Jai. Gets it to go!
What a smart play there by Jai Reyes to set himself up. He saw the defensive USD scrambling. He's like hiding behind a tree. I'm right here. And his teammate spotted him.
And that's where he's really comfortable at. He's not really comfortable bringing down the ball. He likes to spot and shoot. Jervy Cruz looking for a recipient. Jervy operating against Doug. Even over Doug Kramer's outstretched muscular arms. Jervy Cruz already knocking it down. 14 points, 9 rebounds. And against Doug Kramer, he is 3 out of 3, TJ. Against Doug Kramer, he is 3 out of 3 as Doug Kramer puts it back in. And now, both teams are getting into this ball game. 55 all, 50 seconds remaining in the third quarter. Game number 1.
What a game so far. What a game. You've seen some individual matchups jump right out. Imdal versus Espiritu. Cruz versus Kramer.
Evangelista announces his re-entry. He has been sitting on the bench because of 3 personal fouls, and he puts it back.
And this guy has got a lot of energy to spare.
Oh, yeah.
And he's going to pour it all out.
That's the first miss, by the way, of Jervy Cruz on Doug Kramer.
Look at the help defense they've got on Imdal. Look at the respect the Tigers have for him.
Jai Reyes thought about the 3, twirls back, nowhere to go. 4 seconds on the shot clock. Zion underneath. Goes back to the reverse score.
Just when you thought Ateneo had nowhere to go, Kramer found Zion moving well without the ball.
Kuan shoots it. He needed to shoot it because there was no time left on the clock. And guess where we're at? We were tied at 35 at halftime. We are tied at 57 at the end of the third quarter, and it's time now for our Nokia best play of this third quarter of game number 1 of the UAAP Finals. And it is this block. Zion returns that ball, and then it ends up in a 3-point shot for Jai Reyes. Jai Reyes, by the way, shooting 4 out of 6 from the field. 10 points off the bench for Jai Reyes. That is his second triple of the ball game, and we are tied at 57. 10 more minutes for game 1 here at the Araneta Coliseum.
Catch all the right moves at the UAAP games with Gillette Vector Plus. Look good, play better.
Ba't magpapaka-hassle? May madali naman. Ba't mas mabagal kung may mabilis? Dahil ngayon, there's new Vector Plus mula sa Gillette. Angat sa mga traditional na razors. Kasi ang Vector Plus, may 2 blades at pivoting head. Kaya sa bawat hagod, doble ang ahit. May push clean button pa. Wala nang mess. Subukan na kung gaano kadali mag-ahit with new Vector Plus mula sa Gillette. Gillette Vector Plus. Now 30% off. May money back guarantee pa.
Everything becomes effortless. Game slows down. You basically let your instincts take over. I think it's something that you can definitely train yourself to get into.
81 points! Unbelievable!
perfect mix of Nescafe, Coffee Mate, and sugar.
One more reason to get together.
Let's mix, let's talk. One moment, one Nescafe.
Jesse James and Frank James, Billy Kid, all the rest. Supposed to be some bad cats out there in the West. But when they dug me and my gangster ways, they hung up their guns and made it to the grave, 'cause I'm a gangster of love.
Welcome back to the Big Dome. Decibel levels already kicking up a notch as we enter the fourth and final quarter of game number 1 of the championship finals, the 69th season of the UAAP for ABS-CBN Sports. I'm Boom Gonzalez, together with DJ Manotok, and again, watching us live on Studio 23, or you can watch the replay on Channel 26 of Sky Cable. And for those of you watching us, good evening. No quarters given, none taken. We're knotted at 75. It's now tie. Ball game is broken.
Look at this. You see our quarter scores there. It was a good one for Ateneo in the first. USC made their comeback, and in the third, dead even. That's where we stand, folks. After 3 quarters, 57-all. But now Evangelista with that early incursion.
Nagigigil na maglaro to si Alan Evangelista. He hasn't played for a long time, and he is raring to go, as you said. He's got so much energy right now to try to make up for lost time. Foul called on Chester Taylor.
Sorry, as aggressive as Intal was in that third quarter, UST played some pretty good defense on him. They only allowed him 2 points in the whole third quarter.
Turnover for Ateneo. UST on a 4-on-2. Cortez settles for a 3 off to the left, and Zion has been there because of the extra possessions that he has given Ateneo.
And the blocks.
Jai Reyes short on the 3. And a foul is called on JC Intal. Zion is there because he's been doing everything, even scoring.
Yes, got the blocks, got the rebounds, got the nice cuts to the basket. And I'd say the lack of the superstar numbers so far of JC Intal, let's put it that way, because he's contributed decently at 11 points. Zion's been helping out with his contributions on the different aspects.
9 minutes to play in this fourth quarter. June Cortez and Evangelista is fouled by Zion Later.
Evangelista really just plays so big for his size. He's only barely 6'2". He plays like he's 6'6".
I remember this guy's got PBL experience.
Yes.
So he's, he has played with the big boys, the bigger boys.
And that's a nice thing about it. That's why he creates mismatches. He's an inside-outside operator. He can swing from the small forward to the power forward position at any time.
Warning was called on Alan Evangelista for extra motion after the foul was already called. Alan, 11 minutes, 10 points, 5 out of 7 from the field.
Wow, and 3 fouls.
With 3 personal fouls. Here he goes against Kramer. The nice up and under move.
What a move. Kramer defensively has been showed up. Jeremy Cruz is 3 of 3 against him.
3 of 4 now, yes.
3 of 4. Now Evangelista at will, faking him off, getting the foul. And Kramer, I wouldn't say this is his best game in the league. Definitely so far. He's not the usual numbers. He did have some couple of baskets in the third quarter.
The fact that he is covering Jeremy Cruz, takes away something off his offense.
I'd say so, yeah. Although he does have his 8 points, he'll probably still hit his average of about 11 points. First game, I look at Kramer's numbers. He is averaging 13 points, 9 rebounds, I'd say so. But defensively, I think he can do better. Let's put it that way. He can do much better defensively still.
He can't bite that Alan Evangelista fake, especially that he's taller than Alan.
Yeah, exactly.
Just has to stay with him. In the meantime, Ateneo gets the retrieval. They are behind by 3, 60-57. Jai getting extended minutes here in game number 1. Zion for the 3. Misses everything. Not the specialty for Zion Later. Cortez pulls up from 16. The looper doesn't find it smart. Kramer comes away with his 5th. Make that 6th rebound of the ball game. Reyes kicks it out to Arau. And an offensive foul called on Ford Arao. That was a wild drive by Jai Reyes.
No, actually, Maki Escalona.
Sorry, Maki Escalona.
I mean, that was a bad decision to kick it out. And Arao was not expecting it. Hence the turnover by Arao. Here it is. The pass was basically to nobody as Arao was just running down. And sa gulat niya, Cortez just swiped that ball away.
Maki is out of his element today.
Yeah, he's out of sync. He goes back to the bench right away right now. Coach Ronald Black gambling now on Eric Salamat here early in the fourth quarter.
Let's go to Leah Cruz right now. Leah?
Thank you, Boom. Now in the huddle going into the fourth quarter, just as he has been throughout the entire game, Coach Ronald Black was all about defense and rebounding. He reminded his boys to pick up on their defense, to block out, and to get to the boards. He couldn't seem to stress just how important rebounding is for them at this point. Back to you, Boom.
You gotta forget what happened already in the first three quarters. If they were out-rebounded, the important thing is here in the fourth quarter. They're behind by 3. That's an offensive rebound. But unproductive shot by Kramer. Dunsil looking to make it happen. Inside, Taylor puts it up. And Kramer and Later making sure they get the repossession.
Ababu was almost there for that offensive rebound. Good thing Kramer collared that rebound.
15 on the 24. Salamat with the cut. And an offensive, make that traveling infraction called on the rookie and the former NCAA MVP.
Ateneo's a little lost here. Although they're not down big, they're only down by 3. You sense the momentum and the energy on the side of UST. Ateneo needs a simple bread and butter play. They need a nice drive and drop pass to Kramer, or a nice pick and roll and a good shot for JC Intal. One of those guys.
Or probably Chris Chu coming back into the ballgame. Eric tries to take it away. USD recovers, but Ateneo recovers back. Salamat sets up Intal. Intal with the Sidu.
Wow. Nice move there with the left hand. As he knew Espiritu was going to try something to block him.
This time he went with finesse. Talking about JC Intal. They are down by 1, 60-59. Allen shaking off the sign. He wants to go at Doug Kramer, and the ball will remain with USD. 9 seconds remaining. Jai Reyes, Eric Salamat, the two guys making it happen here for Coach Norman Black. But let's go to Donald Yabres for this report.
It's not only Coach Pido is doing the talking in the huddle. Tigers like Espiritu and Dunsil are also putting in for ideal moves on the court. Coach Pido said, let's improve our foul shooting. He also acknowledged the good defensive play of his boys. Boom, the atmosphere in the huddle is different. Or is it just me who feels differently? I should not forget what Coach Pido reminds us every game with Ateneo. Do not be intimidated by the blue crowd. Back to you, Boom.
And they've never been from the get-go of this ball game, so that is already a point taken. 60-59, 6:27 remaining. Jervy Cruz draws the foul from Ford Arao. And the chance of MVP for Jervy Cruz, who has 14 points, 10 rebounds, 7 of them offensive, TJ. Again, a monster performance. We go back to the indicator. Jervy Cruz and the rest of the USD are 5-0 when he scores 20 or more points. In the meantime, crowd attendance for today for the big ticket for your Sunday showdown. Close to 16,000 people. 0 out of 3. 4 rather for Jervy Cruz. Oh, Intal over everybody else.
That's what you're waiting for. A veteran to take over and just put his team on the shoulders and say, time to pull away. Time to get back in this game. They're up by 1 right now.
Ateneo gets back the lead. Dunsil sidesteps. Intal is called for the goaltending. Oh, he held onto the net.
Because he held onto the net.
It would have been a legitimate block, TJ.
It would have. But was the contact with the net intentional?
Yes.
To have hang time?
Yes, that's the question.
Because you can incidentally hit the net.
Exactly.
Check out the left hand of Intal, where it's going to be. Oh yeah, he hung onto the net.
He hung onto the net a bit. Guilty. As charged. In the meantime, Intal says, I'll just take back the 2 points.
He's warming up. He is now heating up at the right time for Ateneo. Just when they needed him most. Just like that love song.
7 out of 10 from the field for 17 points for JC Intal. Dunsil with a shot fake. The ball taken away from behind, but USD recovering. Juan throws up the 3. That's way off. And a foul called on Anthony Espiritu.
Well, one thing that Juan has definitely none of, which is 3-point shooting. He's got 2 air balls today.
He has only taken one attempt from beyond the arc before this game, and obviously he didn't make that. He really rarely shoots. Even from the two-point field. All throughout season 69, he is 5 out of 13. Warning on Jojo Tunsil for second motion, I believe.
Espiritu.
Oh, Espiritu.
Yep.
In the meantime, the crowd is now in it as we approach the 5-minute mark of this fourth quarter. Jai Reyes pulls up. Nothing there, and Jeremy Cruz comes away with his 11th rebound. 63-62. Ateneo, another close match for the Blue Eagles.
We're going down the wire here, Boom. Last 5 minutes.
Evangelista puts it up. No go. Intal climbs the ladder for that repossession.
They've done a lot to Jeremy Cruz, Boom. I think it's time to go back. I mean, to Evangelista. Time to go back to Jeremy Cruz. He hasn't had the touch in quite a time.
7 rebounds to go with his 17 points. Make that 19.
Wow.
And JC Intal has decided to take over this fourth quarter, as you mentioned, TJ.
8 points in the fourth quarter right now. Total of 19 points. The baby rocket has just erupted here, and he's not yet done.
Primetime players show up during the big games, and game number 1 is huge for Ateneo. They're trying to get that 1-0 edge here in this series, and JC Intal puts it up and in for the 3-point lead. 65-62 with 4:41 remaining.
First day of school. Handa na ba kayo?
First day high! Nasasabi sa unang araw ng eskwela. Taas kamay with confidence. Let's go the first day high! Umaabang sa talino. Kung mayaman si Papa. Magmahilig ka sa sports. Kung cool fantastic. Pag solid sa pain. Itaas ang kamay with confidence. Basta Red Sox from Unilever to!
Be the Colt 45 Rockista. Winner gets $450,000 cash and a 1-year recording contract. Colt 45 Rockista. Be the Colt 45 Rockista. Winner gets $450,000 cash and a 1-year recording contract. Colt 45 Rockista.
Welcome back as JC Intal decides to take over the fourth quarter. The offense of Ateneo just sputtering all throughout the game, but JC now taking over, the veteran that he is, the MVP candidate that he is. Those are the numbers for the last 5 games. Going into this game, 4 out of 9 Ateneo from the field in the fourth. All of those 4 field goals coming from JC Intal, and he has not missed yet so far in the fourth as the boys in blue are ready to celebrate, but we are 4 minutes and 41 seconds away from completing game number 1. Thank you again to Studio 23 for the additional airtime that we are getting here for season 69 of the UAAP. Jeremy Cruz alone underneath. A foul was called on Chris Chu.
Yep. Well, Cruz cleared out Araw.
Di nakita, no?
On the tussle for position. No call was made. And they got him wide open under the basket. Chris Chu desperately threw the help defense. There's a push, but no call. And Chris Chu just gave up with that foul here. No choice.
As great as Jeremy Cruz has been playing, he has 0 out of 4 from the line today. And, he is a 70% shooter from that area. So the 15th parallel line hasn't been his friend today. But you like the fact that they went to Jeremy Cruz this time.
We were mentioning it. They've pretty much been exclusively going to Evangelista at the post. He had one incursion against Kramer, but ever since then they've checked him. And now it's time to go back to Cruz, and they did just that. Coach Pido Horencho with a good adjustment there offensively. Crunch time, you go to your money man.
16 points, 11 rebounds for the native from Gimba, Nueva Ecija. Chris Chu against Jojo Duncil. Chris Chu getting away. Thought about it. Nowhere to go. Gives it up to Kramer. Kramer from his sweet spot misses this one. And Duncil clears down the retrieval. 4 minutes remaining in the fourth quarter. Ateneo holding on to a precarious 1-point lead. 65-64.
Wow.
And Jeremy Cruz takes it away from them as Juarez de Guzman celebrates that basket.
Now here's the question. The whole game, never did Ateneo double team Jeremy Cruz. Never did Ateneo force him to give up that ball.
Yes.
Now he looks like he wants to dominate. He's scoring at will. He scored at will against Doug Kramer. He seems to want to score at will against Ford Arrow. Jab step, jump shot. This crucial stage of the game, you might want to consider getting the ball out of his hands and throwing an immediate double team on him, just like what UST is trying to do to Intal. But he's still scoring.
That's why they're going back to their main man, and that's why Jeremy Cruz is so dangerous. You give him that space to shoot, and he will. And he has shown the touch. JC against Dylan Ababu. JC goes to his left, climbs the ladder, puts it up and in.
With a double team on him, still finding a way to score. Now Ateneo's got to play defense. They've got to stop Jeremy Cruz.
He is 5 out of 5 in the fourth quarter. Talking about JC Intal. And now it's UST's time. Jojo Duncil with a shot fake over Maki Escalona. Cruz with the offensive rebound and a foul from behind from Dylan Ababu. All in all, JC Intal scored 21 points on 9 out of 12 shooting, 5 out of 5 in the fourth quarter. And Dylan Ababu goes to the showers at the 3:03 mark of the fourth.
And that just might be a good thing. Ababu has not been contributing well offensively. Defensively, he's been decent, but now Espiritu comes back in the game. He is an option offensively. He's a guy who played very confidently and took some pretty good shots in the third quarter.
They go back to the well where JC Intal.
And USC adjusts to a 1-2-2 zone.
Oh, that's a nice move, but again, Arau was fouled. I was about to say it was blocked, but actually was fouled. By Alan Evangelista.
So here's a late in the game adjustment defensively by Coach Pido Horencio and his staff, headed by assistant coach Bujing Akot.
Yep.
They went to a zone, 1-2-2 zone. They realized their man-to-man defense, even with a double team on Intal, is just not stopping the Baby Rocket.
0 points for Arau, 0 out of 1 from the free throws, 0 out of 2 from the field for Ford Arau.
And amidst him playing out of sync, boom, Maki Escalona is in the game for Coach Norman Black. Coach Norman giving him that vote of confidence. He wants his main point guard on the floor.
The UST now with 2:40 to play. You gotta go with your main point guard still, even in a crucial time, even if he's struggling. Alan Evangelista working the post. Kramer covering him well. Gua now goes out to Allen for the medium-range jumper. That's off the mark. Almost an offensive rebound for Anthony Espiritu.
That was a good stop for Ateneo.
Let's see if they can be productive on this sequence. Martin Gibson getting ready to come in for the Blue Eagles. Escalona dribbling away the time, which reads 10. He puts up the shot off to the right. Ford Arau, nobody home. Doug Kramer on second opportunity. Still no goal.
2 easy baskets for Ateneo. They're muffed.
Duncil in the fake and a foul, preemptive foul at Chris Chu.
And that's going to be free throws, boom, as Ateneo is in the penalty. Heartbreaking misses there by Arau and Kramer.
All alone for Ford Arau. He overshoots it. Doug Kramer had a little more resistance.
And he had some people underneath him to be worried about, yeah.
And now it's Jojo Duncil's turn to go to the 15th parallel line where he's shooting a shade under 67%. Knocks down the first. He has struggled all game long. 8 points, but 7 rebounds for Jojo Duncil. 12 lead changes in the ball game. Make that 13 lead changes now as USD is holding on to a slim 68-67 lead with 1 minute and 45.
USD mixing it up again. They're back to a man-to-man defense here.
Chris Chu has not given space to shoot. 7 on the shot clock. Chris Chu sends it out to Mackey. Mackey, no confidence to shoot. Chris Chu with 2 seconds gives it up to Kramer in the nick of time.
That's their bread and butter. Beautiful play there. Chris Chu creating something out of nothing.
Doug Kramer again getting his points underneath. That with a second on the shot clock. This time they go down to Jeremy Cruz. USD does. Duncil goes to his right. Duncil with a fake. Alan Evangelista twirling. Nowhere to go. Ateneo takes it away. Escalona all the way home. No! Kramer with the offensive rebound. Puts it up. And a jump ball is called. And possession arrow points to the Ateneo Blue Eagles.
And Coach Ronald Black begging for the foul again. Wow. And talk about stroke of luck with the possession arrow facing their way. Here's that miss by Escalona just when we thought he was gone.
Jojo Duncil there bothering him.
But here's where Coach Ronald was looking for the foul. Espiritu was all over Doug Kramer with the forward motion.
Yes, I think he has a case there.
He's got a case there. He's got a case there.
Well, they are holding on to a slim 1-point lead. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us, please.
You're on an MVP high at the UAAP Games thanks to Rexona First Day High. Taas kamay with confidence. Basta Rexona.
First day of school. Handa na ba kayo? First day high. Nasasabi sa unang araw ng eskwela. Taas kamay with confidence. Rexona First Day High. Umaabang sa talino. Kung mayaman si Papa. Pag mahilig ka sa sports. Kung fantastic. Pag solid sa pain. Itaas ang kamay with confidence. Basta Rexona. From Unilever to!
How far can you go with one full tank of Petron Extra Unleaded? In the Petron Extra Mile Challenge, Team Zyko Himanos set a new record of 1,400 kilometers, leaving the old record far behind.
Record ni Pocholo na break na.
With Petron Extra Unleaded, go for the extra miles. It's time you set your own record.
Back to the Araneta Coliseum. We are down to the final 59 seconds of game number 1 of the finals for the 69th season of the UAAP, the men's basketball tournament. Everybody saying a little prayer. Everybody at the edge of their seats. Everybody biting their nails. As to who's going to win this, your guess is as good as mine, as we are again engaged in a ball game that will go down the wire as usual. This is very characteristic of the season.
Yeah.
Highly competitive season.
And unpredictable.
Highly unpredictable.
Yep. Look at the free throw numbers there. Ateneo, 10 of 16. USD, lousy with 11 for 23.
Possession going to Ateneo. Off the timeout. And a crucial turnover for Chris Chu.
Stepping on the baseline there. So the ball goes right back to the Growling Tigers.
After a timeout, that's painful. With a chance to now snatch the lead is USD.
You got a fresh Martin Kimson on Jeremy Cruz, who has been hot. And that's the problem. Kimson sometimes is over-eager with aggressiveness, fouls him, goes to the line now with 45 seconds to go. As you mentioned before his last trip, he was 0 for 4 from the foul line. Then did he make the last 2 or made 1 now?
We'll check on that. Jeremy Cruz, 2 out of 6. So he made the last 2.
He made the last 2.
45 seconds, the pressure cooker as they call it. And Jeremy, the rookie,
net.
swishes the strings to the delight of the USD crowd.
And the nice thing about that for USD, Boom, look at the clock, 45 seconds. The ball will go back to them because that was an early foul early in their shot clock.
69 all. We have had 14 lead changes, 8 deadlocks, and the lead swings back to USD, and Jervy Cruz again carrying the steam. 20 points. Remember, DJ, when Jervy Cruz scores 20 or more, USD is 5-0. That's our indicator there.
They gotta look for JC Intal. 8 seconds to go in the shot clock. He hasn't touched the ball.
Chris Chu inside to Doug Kramer, who gets it up and in.
That's a big one there.
How many times has Doug Kramer scored in crucial ball games in the end?
And they found him. Big pass there by Chris Chu. They couldn't find their superstar. They didn't get in the ball. But Chris Chu, in the absence of Escalona's execution, he took over and he made this play.
He recognized the double team, and Doug Kramer shrugged off the defense of Jervy Cruz to snatch the lead back. 23 seconds left though. This will be all on USD when we come back.
Ba't magpapaka-hassle? May madali naman. Ba't mas mabagal kung may mabilis? Dahil ngayon, there's no Vector Plus mula sa Gillette. Angat sa mga traditional na razors. Kasi ang Vector Plus may dalawang blades at pivoting head. Kaya sa bawat hagod, doble ang ahit. May push clean button pa. Wala nang mess. Subukan na kung gaano kadali mag-ahit with new Vector Plus mula sa Gillette. Gillette Vector Plus. Now 30% off. May money back guarantee pa.
Soothe your mind and body with one tea. Brewed from real tea leaves. Relaxing. One tea. Get the right one.
Only Ion has Ionics, a molecule system that will boost you to the next energy level. Woo! That's what I'm talking about. Bring it on. Ion.
Jesse James and Frank James, Billy Kid, all the rest. Supposed to be some bad cats out there in the West. But when they dug me and my gangster ways, they hung up their guns and made it to the grave. 'Cause I'm a gangster of love.
Back here at the Araneta Coliseum, 23 seconds to play. I believe that Jimmy Manansala saying a little prayer along with the rest of this crowd at the Araneta Coliseum. One more timeout for Ateneo. Both teams are in the penalty. 23 seconds remaining. It's winning time. Go ahead, DJ.
The last field goal of USD was at the 3:54 mark with Jervy Cruz. The last 4 points they've made have all been on free throws because Ateneo has fouled them.
It will all boil down to execution. Oh, but the ball will go back to USD.
I don't know how you can call this because he never had possession. He tapped the ball. If he straddled the line when he tapped the ball and he straddled the line when he caught it, that should be okay. But the ref saying he was in the backcourt. Completely in the backcourt when he tapped the ball.
Oh, we'll have to see that again, but that will have to wait. That might be crucial. That could have been a completed turnover. In the meantime, now, Ateneo with a 1-point lead. USD, 14 seconds remaining. Hang on, Philippines.
Now it's Ford Arao back on Jervy Cruz. Do they double team? But it's Duncil.
Duncil takes the shot. Overshoots the mark. The ball will go out and will stay with USD with 4.3 seconds remaining. But USD has no timeout.
Interesting decoy play there by Coach Pido Horencio. He made it look like it was going to be the Jervy Cruz and he drew him out. And Duncil went hard, but good help defense by Ateneo. 3 guys all over Duncil.
Who will be the hero? Who will escape with a victory in game number 1 of the finals? We have 4.3 seconds remaining. Everybody and his mother standing up here at the Big Dome. They go to Evangelista. Evangelista turns around.
Oh my goodness!
What a second to play. 1 more second to play.
What a shot!
Alan Evangelista, who has sat down this whole first half because of foul trouble, scores probably the winning basket for USD. 13 points, 6 out of 11. And 5 points here in the fourth. Look at that tough angle.
In the face of Doug Kramer again. Now that play at half court is very crucial. Now it hurts for Ateneo. We look at that.
Yes.
We look at the play. Where is JC Intal when he jumps to tap the ball? He's on the side of UST. Both feet jumps, catches it. Where does he land? I'm not so sure how bad that is because you're going to your front court. You're Ateneo, so you're going to the other side. We'll see.
Let's go to Coach Norman with 1 second to play.
JC, this is you. No, listen to me, Mackie. Sandali lang. This is you. You're out of the game. Jai, come in. Jai, this is you. Mackie, this is you. Okay? As soon as he hits the ball. Sorry, Mackie's inbound. JC, this is you. Let him go, Doug. 1, 2, 3. I'm hard this way, not this way. Seal.
USD continuing their giant killing ways, continuing the shocking run that they've had in season 69, and they're 1 second away from pulling off a game 1 upset here in the finals. Although, like we said, there is still 1 second remaining.
Enough time for a catch and shoot. Maybe not for a catch, fake dribble and shoot, but a simple catch and shoot. USD is in the penalty. They must be careful to not foul away from the ball.
Exactly. And now Ateneo is being called. Jai Reyes will be sent back into the ball game. We all know why. It will all boil down to this 1
and
second.
You've got a small inbounder in Maki Escalona going up against a 6'5" Chester Taylor. Normally, you have a big inbounder. Normally, in situations like these, you have a tall inbounder to make sure he gets the pass over the defender.
Here we go, folks. Ateneo with 1 last play. They go to Doug Kramer underneath. Oh, wow. What a play! What a play for Ateneo!
What a play by Coach Norman Black!
I cannot believe how this turned out.
What a finish!
Oh my Lord, TJ! This was an amazing turn of events.
Did the refs count it right away, or do they have to check it?
We'll see.
Normally they check it.
We'll see. And Maki Escalona, who has struggled all throughout the game, struggled with his assist, found the open Doug Kramer.
Let's look at the time, 1 second. And it's good.
It's good.
By far.
And again, how many times has Doug Kramer shot a crucial jumper or undergoal stab for Ateneo at the end of the game?
Wow.
What a shocking, unbelievable turn of events.
Unbelievable.
This is college basketball at its finest. And Ateneo goes 1-0.
What a play by Coach Norman Black. You gotta credit that play.
Yes.
Number 1, the gamble of putting a small Maki Escalona, but arguably his best passer on the team to make that difficult pass.
This is
USC, the young team that they are, they just did not execute defensively, and they didn't communicate on that screen that Doug Kramer went down to give the screen.
I'm sure she's not the only one in tears right now. This is an incredible finish to game number 1, and we'll be back to wrap this baby up. Woo!